Imagine standing on the edge of an ancient mist-covered forest. The trees whisper age-old secrets as the wind sifts through the leaves. Suddenly, a low, deep rumbling pierces the silence, and from the shadows emerges a creature magnificent and terrifying, a dragon. Its scales shimmer with the colors of the earth itself, and its eyes hold the wisdom of millennia.
Such a vision has captivated human imagination throughout history, scattered across the globe from the frosty peaks of Norway to the lush valleys of China. This video explores the captivating mythology of dragons, unwrapping the layers of historical and cultural significance that have made these mythical beasts both feared and revered. Dragons, beings of scales and fire, have found their place in the lore of nearly every civilization. These serpentine creatures typically possess attributes such as incredible strength, long life, and often a fearsome presence. But despite these common threads, the interpretation and significance of dragons vary greatly from culture to culture.
From the snaking form of the Chinese dragon to the winged beasts of Western mythology, each rendition tells a story of its own cultural backdrop and epic. The word dragon itself stems from the Greek drakon, which means to see clearly, or watcher. This etymology speaks volumes about the symbolic role of dragons as guardians and protectors of sacred or precious elements. In understanding the myths, it becomes clear that dragons are not merely monsters, but are complex symbols of power and paradox.
In Eastern cultures, particularly in China and Japan, the dragon is far from the menacing creature depicted in Western narratives.
Here, dragons symbolize wisdom, strength, and are often considered harbingers of luck and prosperity. They are water deities, influencing the weather and the harvest, thus playing a pivotal role in agricultural society. Chinese emperors embraced the dragon as a symbol of imperial authority and divine right. Unlike their Western counterparts, Eastern dragons are portrayed without wings, moving through the sky by magical means, emphasizing their mystical nature. These dragons do not hoard treasures, but rather oversee the natural world, demonstrating a cultural emphasis on harmony with nature rather than conquest of it.
Contrastingly, the Western dragon narrative often centers around menace and combat.
Epic tales from Europe depict dragons as adversaries that heroes must defeat to prove their valor or protect their kingdoms. These dragons guard immense treasures, not uncommonly in lairs like caves or ruins, which adds an aura of darkness and the underground to their mythology. Western dragons are usually winged and capable of spewing fire, an image that may have been inspired by the biblical Leviathan or ancient Norse myths. The fight against a dragon represents overcoming insurmountable odds, often a metaphor for personal trials or societal challenges. The contrasting depiction between Eastern and Western dragons reveals much about societal differences in views on power, wealth, and heroism.
The dragon mythos does not skip over the Middle Eastern cultures, where it often takes on a more sinister role than in the East, but more integrated with cosmic battles than in the West.
Babylonian mythology introduces us to Tiamat, a dragon-like goddess associated with the creation of the world who later becomes a symbol of chaos.
In Persian stories, dragons such as Zahak, who has serpents growing from his shoulders, embody the ultimate evil that must be confronted by heroes.
These creatures often play significant roles in stories of moral and physical struggle, reflecting a blend of cosmological and earthly battles.
The interpretations of dragons in the Middle East serve to remind us that in many cultures, dragons were not just creatures of wonder or fear, but also potent symbols embedded in the creation myths and moral fabric of societies. In early Europe, especially in the Norse and Celtic traditions, dragons are often seen both as destructive forces and wisdom bearers.
One prominent legend is that of the Norse dragon Nidhogg, who gnaws at the roots of the world tree, Yggdrasil, threatening to plunge the cosmos into chaos.
This portrayal underscores a theme recurrent in many European dragon myths: the balance between creation and destruction.
Dragons served not only as antagonists in tales of heroism, but also as gatekeepers to profound wisdom and secrets of the natural world.
In these myths, confronting a dragon was not only a physical battle, but also a spiritual journey, demanding courage, wisdom, and insight from the hero or heroine.
This narrative structure realizes the deep-seated symbolism dragons held within the psyche and folklore of early European cultures, influencing countless tales and works of art, and leaving a lasting legacy on the collective imagination.
Despite the myriad forms and meanings dragons take across different cultures, certain universal themes emerge.
Across the globe, dragons are often seen as symbols of nature's untamed forces, be it through their association with elemental powers like water and fire, or their role in myths concerning the creation and destruction of the world.
This universal symbol of the dragon suggests a common human need to personify and confront natural and existential fears.
As dragons often occupy the boundaries between worlds, such as the sea and the sky, or the earthly and the spiritual, they help articulate the human experience of confronting the unknown.
By analyzing these cross-cultural symbols, we see not just a fantastical beast, but a profound expression of humanity's quest to understand its environment, moral universe, and existential doubts. The dragon's impact extends beyond oral traditions into the very fabric of visual culture. From ancient pottery to modern digital art, dragons have been a favorite subject, depicted as majestic, fearsome, and sublime beings.
In art, dragons often serve complex symbolic functions. In medieval European art, they can represent sin and corruption, while in East Asian art, they often embody balance, prosperity, and the primal forces of nature.
This duality underscores the dragon's role as a bridge between material and metaphysical, tangible and mythical. Artistic representations of dragons not only reflect cultural values, but also influence how these mythical creatures are perceived and understood across different times and societies. Literature offers another rich vein through which the dragon myth has been transmitted and transformed. From the ancient epic of Beowulf to Tolkien's The Hobbit, dragons have been pivotal characters that drive complex narratives.
In literature, dragons often embody the ultimate challenge or obstacle the protagonist must overcome. They are not merely antagonists, but are symbolic of larger conflicts or internal struggles faced by characters.
This literary device enables a deep exploration of themes such as heroism, morality, and the human struggle against overwhelming odds. The dragon's recurring presence in global literature highlights its enduring appeal and versatility as a symbol across genres and epochs. Archaeological insights, unearthing dragon origins. The myth of dragons might also have been influenced by ancient peoples discovering dinosaur fossils and interpreting them through the lens of their cultural and natural understanding.
Archaeological findings have occasionally been misattributed to dragons, giving a pseudo-scientific basis to these myths. Research in paleontology has shown how these misinterpretations came to be. For instance, large, serpentine fossilized spines could have been construed as the remains of dragons by those who found them.
This aspect of dragon lore not only sparks interest in mythology, but also in the history of science and paleontology. Such insights bridge the gap between myth and reality, showing how our ancestors made sense of the natural world through the myths they created and believed in. Modern interpretations, from myth to screen. In contemporary culture, dragons continue to thrive, transitioning from ancient myths to modern media.
Films, television series, and video games often feature dragons as central figures, from Game of Thrones to How to Train Your Dragon. Modern interpretations often blend elements from both Eastern and Western dragon myths, reflecting a globalized cultural exchange.
These dragons can be both terrifying and endearing, serving as complex characters that add depth and intrigue to their narratives. This ongoing fascination with dragons in popular culture underscores their versatility as symbols and their ability to adapt to new contexts and meanings, resonating with new generations. Scientific explorations debunking dragon bones. Science has played a crucial role in demystifying some of the fantastical elements of dragon myths.
Paleontologists and archaeologists have clarified that what were once thought to be dragon bones are often dinosaur fossils or other prehistoric remains. This scientific debunking does not diminish the cultural significance of dragons, but enriches our understanding of how these myths were formed.
It provides insights into the ancient world's interpretative frameworks and helps us see the links between myth-making and environmental observation. By debunking myths with science, we do not lose the story. Instead, we gain a story about stories, about human nature and the development of scientific thought. The lasting legacy of dragons, myth and culture. The dragon's enduring presence in global culture is a testament to its compelling nature and deep-rooted significance in human storytelling.
From ancient carvings to blockbuster films, dragons have adapted to the cultural climates of their times, always finding new ways to inspire, terrify, and fascinate. As symbols, dragons encapsulate the fears, aspirations, and wonders of humanity.
They remind us of our past confrontations with the unknown and our ongoing quest for knowledge and understanding. The dragon, in all its forms, continues to be a powerful emblem of the human spirit's resilience and imagination. In the final analysis, the story of the dragon is the story of humanity itself. A narrative woven deeply into the fabric of our collective mythologies, continually evolving and enduring through the ages. This comprehensive and engaging exploration of dragon myths across different cultures and epochs not only highlights the diversity of these legendary creatures, but also underscores the universal themes they embody. By examining the historical, cultural, and artistic significance of dragons, we gain a deeper appreciation for how these mythical beings have shaped human thought, art, and society. This video invites readers to journey through time and geography, from ancient carvings to modern screens, tracing the footprints of dragons and their lasting legacy in our world.